Good morning, everyone. I am Prince Leaf, and I'd like to welcome all of you to Home Improvement. This is a game which I started speedrunning as a joke, and here I am. I think I'm 4 years running on this game right now. So, without further ado, we're having a little technical difficulties on my end. So, in 3, 2, 1. Well, I'm not 3, 2, 1, but just a second here. Let me get all the cords untangled. Timer ready. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So the beginning of Home Improvement starts with tool time, but of course it's a cutscene, and we can skip it by just pressing the start button. So that tool screen that you saw at the beginning of the stage, you're going to only see that at the beginning of each set, like set 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, and so on. Really doesn't mean a whole lot in the game, and you only see it after you complete the stages, so you don't see parts, anything during the whole entire game. So any amount of progress that you think you made during each stage means nothing. So first thing you think of when you think Home Improvement, you're probably thinking dinosaurs, right? Man, like I remember watching Home Improvement, and I don't remember a single dinosaur being in the entire show. Maybe I could be wrong, because I mean, season 6 was pretty goofy after, the departure of most of the cast. Home Improvement, the objective of the game is that every single set you are to go and collect a box which contains stolen tools, known as the Tim Taylor Edition tool set. They were stolen by somebody pretty much in plain sight, because I don't know, game logic. He leaves a note saying that you must go back to the Stone Age where you belong, and that means that Tim the Toolman Taylor must go to other sets of the production studio that they filmed the show at, and that's why he's in the prehistoric age, and that's why we have Tim Allen fighting dinosaurs and power tools. So for each stage, you collect 5 boxes for stages 1. I guess the first set, and then for set 2 you collect 6, set 3 7, set 8 or 4 you collect 8. I'm getting a little ahead of myself there. And I grabbed the nail gun for some reason there. I don't know why I did, but I actually needed the chainsaw, so little mistake. But I'm gonna take I guess I'm not gonna take an intentional damage there. I'm just gonna pogo off of him. Didn't know he could do that. I actually did know you could do that, but never thought about it. New strat! So, because I grabbed that nail gun here, it's going to take a little while for me to get up through this little crevice here. My mistake. Oopsie. So I grabbed that power-up there. The power-up makes me immune to spikes and gives me a little higher-up jump. Makes the hammer a little more reliable when breaking blocks, and it also works as invulnerability. So every time I take a hit, instead of losing my bolts and weapon, I lose the power-up itself. But every time you lose the power-up, you can just jump up and grab it immediately if you have the room for it. And because of that higher-up jump, I can now get up here easier and not, have to maneuver around the level a little more. Oh, there's a chainsaw! Man, the game was listening to me. It gave me, or threw me a bone here for my mistake, so we thank the game for that one. Here is one of the worst jumps in this game, and I hate it every single time I do it because the dinosaur always hits me at the wrong place, and that time he didn't, so I got to keep the power up there. Getting hit a little too high makes it so I can't grab that power up back, and I need the power up for the next level so that I can do a little bit of a skip and save a couple seconds getting to the first box. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold right now. So with this level, this dinosaur up here can swipe me. I take this little delay here and then try to avoid him. I'll take this damage just to be safe. And because I have the jump power up, I can now get up here without having to move around the stage, like about 10 more seconds of platforming and pterodactyls that I don't have to worry about. So now I just backtrack and go back to where I started. If I lose the power up here, it's not a big deal because I can pick up another one. But I'm going to keep it. So now I can save myself 2 seconds by not having to go around and get another one. The chainsaw weapon is not really a strong weapon to use for killing enemies, but I use it more to knock out blocks faster because it's one of the better weapons you use to knock blocks out. almost better than the hammer itself, which you'll have at all time. But the hammer is kind of janky sometimes. It's not random because it's set pattern, but at the same time, like hitting a block right in front of you is not necessarily the easiest task to do with the hammer itself. So the chainsaw kind of makes easy work of platforms like that. The hard hat is basically your star power-up from Super Mario Brothers. You get about invulnerability for 20 or 30 seconds. I never really counted it to make sure. Just kind of go with me and say it's 20 seconds, but you know, obviously it's over when it blinks. But you get enough of the stage done before it goes away, so it makes it worth it to grab it. Some of the levels are kind of longer than the other. Like some of them are over in like 2 minutes, whereas some could take about 4. Set 3 is probably the worst in this case because there's some skips you can't really do. In this one, I'm actually about to do a skip, which I need to do a little damage boost. So I'm going to take this hit from the egg, go up the power up, and do a pogo off of that bird, and I will skip about 10 more seconds of maneuvering around. And because I have that power up, I can make some jumps that I wouldn't necessarily be able to make if I didn't. And you need the power up in order to make that pogo jump. If you do a grapple hook right there, you can go through the platform there, but you either get it first try or you lose time. And I was not able to do it, so I tried to do it twice, and I think I lost about half a second there. So, tricky part coming up here. I mean, this part's not so bad, but when you get to the dinosaur down there, I have to jump over this. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to save the power up as much as possible. Anytime you have it, you save yourself the risk of dying, and I kind of want the power up just to be able to take extra hits and make the boss fight a little more manageable. So I'm doing the non-power up strat. So far, so good. And when you are at the end of the stage, you'll notice that big gold nut that drops every single time. Every time that's on the screen, it seems like the game drops a few frames. So when I grab it really quickly, I try to get it off the screen as quickly as possible to reduce that number of frames. I don't know if it does save because I never really tested it, but it just feels like it's faster. So on to the first fight of the game. It's this little serpent-looking thing, sort of a dragon, but it's also kind of a snake. But all I'm trying to do is keep the nail gun on him as much as possible. I mean, he does have iframes, so anytime I'm hitting the serpent, I mean, it's not doing damage, but whenever he blinks, that's when I'm doing the damage. But sometimes, you know, you get a good pattern with the nail gun, where you get it on him as soon as the iframes are gone. But due to the random nature of the nail gun itself, that's not always happening. And whenever you get 100 nuts and bolts, you get a 1-up. But the funny thing about the nuts and bolts is that whenever you reach 100, you go all the way to 0, and you can die from that. So you get your 1-up, but you also get the risk of losing life as a result. But I have the power up. So I'm going to do a new path here in a second, which is a little more dangerous because I can't really see where I'm jumping to. But it moves me around the area and makes it less like traveling time. So here I got to make this jump, and I got to... okay, I'm going to be playing it safe here. I'm going to be losing time, but... Okay, here's where I got to see these platforms. They're on like literally the bottom of the screen. I can hardly see them on my TV. So here, now I'm at the end of the stage where I would normally end the level. But now I'm not doing that. Try to save some time as traveling. I don't want to lose this power up still. But now I also have to keep the power up for the rest of the stage. But I can grab the power up in case I lose it. So here, nice little grapple here. Saves me a couple of seconds of having to drill down through that platform. And now that I don't have to backtrack, I can just go down this platform and grab this box, and now out here, and I'm back where I started. Now I gotta take this hit, and I gotta save this power up. I have to save this thing because I need the damage boost off of it. It's a little faster to do that than it is to wait for the scorpion to shoot me. Now if I timed it correctly, this other thing should be right on the wall, and I should be able to damage boost off of it. And then we end the level right here. That was good. Except for maybe the going through the first, like, or the second box. But that was a pretty good stage. So the power-up is one of the most useful items because it makes me able to sequence break most of these levels. Like, if I didn't have the power-up jump there, I would not have been able to jump up to that platform to grab that box. So I would have had to maneuver around some horrible platforming, again, where I cannot see the platform I need to jump on half the time, so it's usually very risky to go down there, but by having that power-up, I can just jump up there and grab the box. So I'm going to be coming back this way, but I need to come down here to grab another box before I can do that. Again, saves me time of having to travel around the level. And here, the hammer is very unpredictable, because I can knock out the whole platform there by not being next to the crates, like, there. So I from the 2 blocks over, I'm doing the hammer to make sure I get it all down in one. I can jump up here because I got the power up. I can't get up there, but I can grapple up at the platform. So make sure I don't lose the power up here, because it's very important, because I can't make the jump here if I don't have it. So grab this box. Try to grab the box, that is. And then this, I can only make that if I have the power up jump. So now I don't really need the power up, so if I lose it, it's not a big deal. But anytime you have the power up, it's just safer. A little bit of descent here. Can't really see if the enemies are going to be ready to knock me out, but I was given a pretty favorable pattern there. The nail gun is not a good weapon to use for these things, so this is one of the only times I'll have the nail gun, because I need it for the boss fight. Depending on how your run is going, you could have the chainsaw too, but that just means you missed the jump. So there, I got a level, or 1 up. One thing to note about this game is that there are 3 continues, and that's it. There's no password system to get back to where you left off. So you have to beat this game all in one sitting, and you can't practice any stage unless you make save states. So trying to learn this game was kind of difficult in the beginning, but I had to actually play the game, learn it. Maybe I should talk about the controls a little bit. So your X button is pretty much everything not like your special weapon. So your jackhammer, your grapple hook, and your hammer are all mapped to the X button with the direction. So down in X is your jackhammer, just X is your grapple hook, and left and right plus X is your hammer. And A button does your nail gun, special weapon, or whatnot. It depends what it is. And the L and R button are directionals for the special weapon. Did I confuse you already? Did you want to learn about it in the manual? Well, too bad, because if you were to look in the manual to find controls and whatnot, you would turn it to a printed-on sticker that said, "Real men don't need instructions." So, clearly you were meant to learn it yourself and not have the aid of instruction manual. Because you gotta play like a real man, that's what the game wants to tell you. Of course, that's the gist of the whole show if you watched Home Improvement. The man of the house, but he always makes mistakes. But I don't think he was ever in the Egyptian setting anywhere in the show. Because that's, the show, or the game follows the show pretty much to a T. I lost the power up, but it's not a big deal because I can just get it back. Can't see this platform. I landed on it though. Playing stupidly because I'm playing like I have the power up. So I can just take the safety one here. It's a little bit of a time loss, but it'll be worth it once I get to the next level. A lot of the route for this game is meant to have the power up. The only world set, I get the worlds and sets mixed up, but the only set that really doesn't have the power up incorporated into the speedrun is because I just don't ever have it, is set 3. And set 3 doesn't have a whole lot of like route changes to it, other than like just doing it quicker. Like it's mostly linear. Just not a whole lot of change to be made with it. So set 4, we're going to be using the nail gun here. I normally don't use leveled up weapons because they don't do anything different damage wise. I just lost the power up. Okay, we got to do a much different strat now. Okay, this is going to be a slower level, but what I was going to say about the nail gun is, like, it doesn't change the damage that's done by the weapon, it just changes the pattern of which it shoots. So now the nail gun shoots in 3 directions as opposed to shooting just straight ahead in a random arc of nails. And I'm going to lose it there because I don't have the power up. That's unfortunate, but I got to play this level out a little slower now because I don't have the power up. It's kind of unfortunate. There's no pickup for this either, so I have to go through this, fixing the path a little bit. Hope that I don't get unlucky with the grab. Darn it. So for now, the path is the same, but as soon as I get this next crate, it's going to change. And since I have the nail gun, the next part is going to be very miserable, because it's going to be me trying to knock out so many platforms with the nail gun. So I'm very, very upset, but kind of expected it. I've kind of been playing this really rusty the last few days. I've been sick for most of the last week and a half, so didn't really play this a whole lot leading up to this run, but I did actually PB yesterday by less than a second, so that was one good thing that happened the last few days. But the fact that it was only less than a second, like, kind of stinks, but it's a PB and a world record. So grab this flamethrower, and I'll make this a little bit quicker. Yeah, these platforms don't stop me, so if I were to run through them, I would actually fall to a hole and die. So I don't really like coming down here. That's the end of that. So now the paths converge. This is where I would have been had I gone the original way, but I still have more to do once I get back through here. I gotta come back out and go get another box. Here I do a little grapple jump. If I can hit it, that is. There we go. If I had the power up, I wouldn't have to do that jump. And if I played the level good, I would have been done there. So backtrack out. I'm gonna lose a little bit of time here. But we're still good though. Run's still going pretty good. Okay, come on. Gotta extinguish those flames using flames. God damn. Alright, the last block here. And then we're on to the stage boss. So there was a little bit of a route, sort of a thought that I thought about when I was facing this boss the other day. I thought that, you know, since some of the enemies die a little bit quicker using the hammer, I thought maybe using the hammer on them would maybe, you know, lower the hits, but that's not the case here. So I'm just going to extinguish these flames, and now I have to hit him 20 times. And he does have iframes, so you try to hit him as soon as the iframes are done. Jump over him so that these lasers don't hit him. It's the same timing each time, so if you hit him at the right time, just jump over the laser. Unlike this mummy, little mummy head, which is the second form of the boss fight, has no iframes. So as soon as he starts, you just keep hitting him with whatever you can. And he's giving me a really good pattern here. Okay, now I'm losing it. So you just try to hit him as many times as you can until he dies. And that's it for set 2. So we're on to set 3, which is the haunted house theme. And usually the tools that you're looking for have nothing to do with the stage itself, so looking at that screen is just absolutely pointless. Those are the spark plugs. You don't want that weapon because it's awful. I thought I about bonked my butt on the ground there and I would have died, so kind of good I didn't do that. Come on. So I'm going to do a little damage boost off this spike here in a second, but I need to grab this crate first. Oops. Come on now. Oh, bedsheet ghost. That was Jay's favorite enemy in this game. Okay, now I'm going to damage boost off the spike here and get up to the part of the level I need to be at. Hopefully that ghost doesn't hit me. Maneuver my way around here. I don't like the spiders in this level. That's probably my least favorite enemy in this game. So backtrack. I saved that nut that was up there because I need to do another damage boost. And go back. Ooh, I missed it. Okay. Scratch that. I can still do it. I'm just not going to have a nut ready for me. There we go. I got one on the rebound, so I'm good here. So you may have seen the power-up that was at the start of the level. I actually do not know how to get that power-up because I don't think that you can. The path that it shows is too narrow for Tim Allen to get through, so I really just scratching my head. I think it's just there to taunt you. Kind of like everything else in this game. That's an intentional hit. I'm just trying to conserve my momentum. Jumping over the spikes, you can actually clear that jump, so that's why I take the hit there. Oops. So there's a spider coming up. I'm going to be damage boosting through him, and hopefully I get another nut from it. Okay, I got one. But I was kind of nervous there for a second because everything went the other way. So coming back, I mean, I'm going to take another hit, and maybe it doesn't matter if I get any, but there's going to be a hard hat here that I can grab, and that'll get me to the end of the stage if I play it perfectly. I got a damage boost. Well, not damage boost, but I got to get on this spike wall here, and I got to do a little grab with the grapple, and then I can get to the last crate. If I were to have perfectly done that, the invulnerability will run out as soon as you grab the crate, so you can finish the level before it, but I was a little late, but I was able to get through it, but took the damage from the spider. I had enough nuts to take the hit, so I need to grab this because I don't have one in my inventory right now, because every time you end the stage, it takes all your stuff away, and there's not a convenient place to grab one leading up to this. So here's that spider. He can come down, hit me if he wants to, but he was being very generous there. I can duck under this one though, but you never know when they're gonna just jump down and hit you. A candle. These little suits of armor, I mean, some of them are a pain, but for the most part you can jump over all of them. This one, I'm going to take this hit just to get through them and make sure I have a nut getting into it. Don't want to grab the dynamite there, it's just there in the way. It's a terrible weapon, doesn't do any more damage than any of the other ones, so just take my advice and avoid it at all costs. I need one here. Oh, the candle's in my way now. So the candles sometimes will drop me a power-up. They did actually do it one of the times I was doing this during the SNES Super Stars marathon, but because I was not expecting it, I lost it immediately after that. So, but if you have the power-up, you can actually do a little bit of a skip in this level, but because most of the time I don't have it, I don't ever expect to like do this strat. Here, you're supposed to use this platform or this little fake wall to go back through and continue the game, but because there's a platform for grapple, you can use it to your advantage to get up there, save yourself the hassle of having to move through this section here. Save yourself a few seconds of doing that. Nail gun was being really inaccurate there. The randomness of the nail gun, like all the weapons in general, like the chainsaw is probably the least random weapon, but it's just one of the weakest when it comes to killing enemies. Except for the Count, which is the boss of this world, which I will be using the chainsaw for, but that's because I need the... Well, I guess... I'm not going to go for the strat that I need the chainsaw for, so unfortunately I'm going to lose the chainsaw, but you're kind of going to give the chainsaw just by default, because it's in the way of the path when you move into it. So this hard hat, I could do one of two things, but I'm going to actually go up because I think this is the more difficult path to use the hard hat for. And spiders, they die in one hit when I have it. So it doesn't really matter too much that I have a level 2 nail gun right now. I'm going to end up losing it because I'm going to be doing damage boosts. Hit there. Come on. There we go. I want to make sure I have a bolt through here because I'm going to have to boost through this spider. I cannot avoid that hit no matter what I do, so... Come on now. Taking a lot of damage here on purpose. It's like I need to do the iframe so that I can maneuver through there and still have some bolts. So that was one of the more dangerous parts of the level. I got through it just fine, but now I took too long and now I gotta kill this candle. If you were just to drop me a power-up, that would be a godsend, but it wasn't able to do that. When I was doing one of my practice runs, I actually had one of the bosses drop me a power-up, which was nice because I had actually failed one of the major power-up skip things, and I lost the power-up beforehand, so it actually saved my run, but I still wasn't able to PB on it. Sometimes the game is generous, sometimes it's not. Most of the time it's not, because I've only seen the power-up drop twice from an enemy. Other times I've seen dynamites, and you don't want dynamites. Oh, that's not good. Play a little safer. I don't really know how to classify this game. It's sort of a puzzle platformer. It's also sort of an adventure game. It's also a maze. Like it's one of those where do I go games. Like maybe you don't know where you're going, get lost. The game, like if you stand still, the game will tell you which way a box is. But the thing is, it doesn't tell you, like, the path to it. So, I mean, you could be walking into a dead end and not know it. Dang it. Bedsheet Ghost is in the way there. You're probably wondering, why the hell would someone play this game? Because no one else will. that's my answer to that question. Gotta be careful here. I don't want to get swiped by this knight here who shoots his projectiles. Gonna go through an invisible platform here so I can grab this hard hat. And just maneuver through this really quickly. If I get to the spider, that's great. If not, it's fine. I can just duck under him. Got it. Okay. If I get before the candle, I don't have to worry about it. Honestly, my opinion of this game, it's better as a speedrun than it is playing it casually. I feel bad for anybody who plays it casually, because you're not going to have a good time. Unless you like this game. I mean, I like this game, despite that reason. But it's one of those, like, I looked at it, thought, you know, this game's probably going to be terrible, but then I speedran it and I had a good time with this. Like, okay, let's see how far I can improve this game. And here we are, about 47 minutes into... I would say the game could push about 45, but right now my PV is about 47 minutes. The game estimate, like, my estimate's a little generous. Like, I try to incorporate enough time, maybe if I have the game over or something, but the run so far is going pretty well, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be a little ahead of the estimate. You know, I could also be cursing myself by saying that, because I've been known to do that a lot. The last marathon run I did was my best of NES one. I said the same thing during it. Oh, see, you know, the dynamite. Why couldn't that be a power-up? I about grabbed it, too. I don't know what I was thinking. So here I can do a little damage boost through this. Spider, if it doesn't want to shoot me, I can just go through him. The shield guy, if he wants to not hit me while I'm jumping up there. And these jumps are pretty tight. You have to sort of be falling off to make the jump. But if you hit it before that, you will fall down. And because that section was sort of a climb, you would actually fall pretty far, losing a little bit of time. So here, this power-up is important. I need to keep it for the rest of the stage. So, good luck to me. I'm going to kill this candle just to be safe. Flamethrower. Doesn't matter what weapon I pick up, because I'm just going to default go back to the chainsaw and the next. Alright, we're good. Ghost is going to be here. Alright, go to the middle of this platform so I can jump up and grab the power up without being hindered by an invisible wall. I wanted to back up there and be safe. Thought I was in there. Don't want to jump up because there's a bat up there. And there we go. I got the power up, and then I'm on to the next stage. Onto the set 3 boss. Now, whenever I get to this boss fight, I'm always thinking, there isn't a whole lot of randomness to this game until you get to this fight. The randomness, I mean, sure, the nail gun is kind of random, but the fights in general, most of them are just set patterns, but the Count, on the other hand, is one of those fights which sometimes he doesn't want to open his mouth, sometimes he does, and you could lose time based on how many times he doesn't. So if he wants to be nice, he'll open his mouth every single time and I can hit him. But most of the time, he doesn't. And when he does, just hit him as soon as you can. This is the only fight that the chainsaw is actually good to be on. There is a platform that's below me, but you probably can't see it on the screen. There is a death pit underneath that platform that you can fall into. So, just kind of think, you know, all the better fights, like, this is just a glorified cutscene, kind of like all the DKC fights, which are all kind of cutscenes. Dumb Drum, King K. Rool, all these better fights. This one's just a waste of time. He's not giving me a good pattern. Oof. Come on. How many more hits do I need to hit? There we go. That was a pretty bad fight. Not because of me, but because the game just wouldn't allow me to have a good pattern. So that's the end of set 3. We are on to set 4. It's actually one of the quicker sets in the game. I think set 3 is just the biggest time consumption of the whole entire run. So I can do a fool's pogo here, which I could pogo off the shooting star, but if I were to miss the pogo, I would actually take a hit and lose the run. So I'm not going to do that. I need the power up for this level right now. Knock out this block here. I can jump up there because I got the power up. All my practice runs have failed in this level, so let's try to make it better. With this hard hat, I can just charge through this section here. Oops, come on. As long as I get to this next crate with the power or with the hard hat, I'm okay. Usually that UFO I can't get to. I really don't want to lose this power up. And next is pretty much where all my practice runs have died, because I can't ever hit this eyeball enemy with the hammer. So it takes 3 shots with the hammer or 5 hits with the nail gun. So it's better to do the 3 hits with the hammer than it is to use the weapon. So I do that instead. And you have to be pretty close to the enemy to hit him with the hammer. So here I'm going to do a little sequence break here. Grab this, jump the power up, get up here. Now I'm going to bait this UFO, and he was in the wrong position. So now I have to get a force hit from this robot. If I were to have baited that UFO, I could have been already hit and been out of this level by now. But now I got to wait for him to hit me. Oof, come on now. Come on, you know you want to hit me. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now I can jump up here and keep the power up. I hate this UFO. If he goes too far, he'll come back and he'll bonk you, you'll lose the power up, and the run will be over. So, oh, I got it back. Yeah, you get very small frame window to get that there, because you don't have very much room to jump up there. I was pretty lucky. If you take too much time, the UFO comes back, but if you were able to knock out the platform and get through there, then he despawns. So, kind of lucky. Very lucky. A little bit of grapple movement here. Don't want to jump too early because I was going to bonk that shooting star. There we go. One of the cooler aspects of this game is those grapple jumps. You gotta be able to hit the X button very fast. So grab this hard hat here. Now, it doesn't really help a whole lot, but it makes it so that I don't have to worry about shooting stars and UFOs just being random spawns. Like, there's no, like, in games like Contra, for example, you can use the down B to go through platforms like that. No such thing exists in this game. You have to use the grapple in order to get below sections like that. So just taking a hit here. Knock out these platforms, these blocks. Not get beamed. They still need the power up. Trying to be super safe here, 'cause I don't want to lose the power-up. Not a run killer if I lose the power-up here, but it's just one of those, like, I like to be safe. Okay, it's over. I'm going to get it back immediately, but it's just the next section is going to be a little tougher now that I don't have it. And that's only because I've changed the route to make sure that it's a little more safer for marathons and such. But if I don't have the power up for set 4, or set 4-4, then it's going to be a little bit of an issue. It's a little bit of a time risk to go get that hard hat, and I don't really get any benefit out of doing that. I want to make sure I have a nut going out of here because I need to be able to take this damage boost in case I hit those spikes there. This horrid jump here, sometimes the game won't let me go through there. I was able to get through, so thank goodness. Okay, so it wasn't a big deal that I lost the power up. I'm going to actually get one back really shortly here. Get through. Gosh, dang it. Hammer was not being very cooperative there, so I took a death. That's unfortunate. As you realize, though, like, you saw that I was pretty much right on the block itself, and for some reason the hammer was not being very, good. That's what happens in this game. Come on, now. I almost did it again. See, as you saw there, I was not near the platform, or near those blocks there, and the hammer took them all out in one swing. So it's almost better not to be directly in front of the platform. I keep saying platform, it's blocks. Here I don't want to jump, because if I do, I'll get bonked and I'll lose the power up. And that would be a very bad loss here. I need to grab this nail gun here, because I'm going to start powering up for the last fight. It's pretty much crucial I don't lose the power up from now until the end. So here, clip through here. I can do it, that is. Do it first try or you lose time. It's one of those, like, either hit it first try or it's not worth it. Excuse me. So now, because I actually took that death, the gold bolt does not appear, and I actually have a little higher time countdown. Because for some reason in stage 4, all set 4, you get a really big time. And yeah, it has to count down after every single completion. Critical moment of the run right here. I don't want to lose this power up, and I also don't want to get hit and get on these spikes. So I'm actually not going to grab the nail gun here, and there's a reason why, and that's because it's going to save me a cycle at the end of the run. End of this level. I actually found that using the level 2 nail gun here is actually better than using a level 3 nail gun. Ooh, that was kind of unexpected, but I was able to salvage it. I'm gonna try to keep the power up. And the reason why I'm not grabbing the level 3 nail gun is because whenever you're fully powered up, which is with power up and three of the same weapon gets you level 3 of something. And whenever you do that, this silver bolt appears at the end, which you grab for points. And points don't really matter in this game, so Come on. Again, doing 3 hammers because it's better to do that than it is to do 3 shots with a nail gun. Or 5 shots with a nail gun. Here, I do not want to kill this shooting star. I want to duck under it. Those wrenches, that actually does nothing at all other than points, so almost makes it not even worth picking up. Here, take a damage boost. Oh, come on now. Eyeballs will jump right over me. Take this boost because I got the power up. It's sometimes better to take the hit than it is to wait and then jump up for the power up afterwards. So this section is so much easier since I got the power up leading into it. Knock this eyeball off. And knock this one off. Despawn them from their existence. I want to knock out all these because this jump stinks. And because I don't have the level 3 nail gun, I'm going to be able to not worry about that nut that drops. And we are on to the last level and final boss. I gotta take a little bit of a detour because I do need a level 3 nail gun here. And conveniently, this part of the game has everything just laying here ready for you to pick up. So just grab this nail gun, and now I have level 3. Because in Home Improvement, the only thing better is, or when you need something done, you need more power. I can't remember what the quote is from the show. So we use more power, and we use the level 3 nail gun because it can consistently keep the nails on the boss fight and also get rid of all those bullets. And it's easier to kill all these bombs, and whenever he shoots missiles, you can kill that easier with the nail gun. You're not seeing any because you shoot the nail gun so fast that it pretty much takes all the missiles and stuff out right when they spawn. And whenever he jumps up, you can jump below him. Ooh, I about lost it there. Now, I do say that this fight has like 3 forms, but it's one of those, like, as you wail on him, he starts losing functions, so now he's lost his gun, and next he'll lose the bombs. Or ornaments, because that's what they look like. They don't look like bombs. And now he has nothing, except for missiles, but you just shoot him until he falls over. Jump over. Just try to keep the hits on him until he's done, and that's the end of the run. So time is when it fades to black, and there's that silver bolt that I was telling you about, and then the gold one, or bronze one because it's worth less points, and when it fades, that is time. 48:32 is not bad, considering haven't really been running the game for a while. I kind of put it on hiatus. When Feasel was actually asking me if I wanted to submit runs, he specifically said this game and Oscar, the run you're about to see, so I wasn't going to submit unless he asked me. So I'm proud of that. It's a good run. I died once, which is unfortunate, but we're a little ahead of estimate. So the masterminds behind this whole entire game, they hired a robot to do the dirty work at the end, but the plot twist at the very end of the game is what you're seeing in this cutscene right now. The kids were the masterminds behind the whole entire thing. It's like, I don't believe this. Like, good work, Dad. We knew you could do it. Like, they sent Tim Allen against dinosaurs, against robots, and snakes, scorpions, and it's like they tried their best to kill him. They must have wanted that life insurance fund so badly. So, nothing really else to say about the game, other than what's about to happen at the end here when we see the credits. Because the tool time ran out, they can't introduce these new tools, so they just like, we'll see you next time on tool time. We'll just kind of let it go through. Fun fact about this game, the same developers who made all the Simpsons games, I think it was the Glen Rock Studios, I think that's who it was, where they were stationed. Oh, Imagineering, that's who it was. They were the people in charge of this game. So when they dissolved and went to Absolute Entertainment, so the same makers of that game made this one. And I want to say this wasn't one of their worst works. I mean, it wasn't one of the worst games I played. But leading into the very next game that you're about to see, I actually have a newfound appreciation for this game. Because you think Home Improvement is a bad game. Oh, and the game tells you game over at the end. That's what I wanted to show you. So, and then you get cut back to the title screen to reset and do it all over again.